Welcome everybody to this week's podcast. This is a little bit different format because we're right in the middle of our end of year promotion and the phones are going like crazy and people are calling in and we're helping people get set up for 2024. So today I thought Connor is our head of product here at REDX. He's also the co-founder of story.co and which it's a content team in your pocket. They do all the video editing and social media, and I'm going to let him talk about that a little bit. But here we are, we're going to talk about what's going on in the market and looking at 2024. As always, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube or any of the many places that we stream, please comment. We have our team that can answer questions. If we mention websites or links or whatever, those links will go into the comments as well. And make sure that you participate. We want this to be kind of participatory type of podcast. So without further ado, Connor Snyder.
Hey everybody, super excited to chat, talk social media, talk about 2024. I've talked to a lot of agents that are looking back at 2023 and they're like, that was a complicated year. that was complicated. And I think complicated or change is the way I'd sum up 2023 and 2022. And a lot of agents are kind of looking at stuff that was working in 2021 and 2020. And they're finally just accepting that, you know what, I might need a new approach for 2024. Yeah. Like things aren't just like a temporarily different. There's been some just fundamental changes that mean I need to make some fundamental changes to the way I'm working. So I'm excited for all the agents that are jumping on and trying some new things with prospecting and seller leads and things, because I think that's going to be the name of the game in 2024. Yeah. I
think as we look back how, we've been around for 20 years. That's the whole end of year promotion is our 20-year anniversary bundle. And in 20 years, what we're seeing these two different strategies kind of colliding. And 20 years ago it was, well, you either work referrals and you work your sphere of influence, or you're a prospector. And there was this dichotomy, and you were on this side or you're on this side. And then, through the recession, that started to change, because what happened is a lot of prospectors gained way more market share. And then as agents came in after recession, they started looking around going, okay, well, how do I get business? And so then prospecting, I wouldn't say became mainstream, but certainly a more, common practice amongst agents to go out and find business. And, but there was still kind of this, you're either an agent that goes and prospects, or you're an agent that finds referrals. And with the internet, that's changed everything, right? Because now you can go after referrals and you can build a reputation and you can build a sphere of influence, and you have far greater reach with social media than you ever had before. And so now all of a sudden these worlds are colliding together in kind of a new strategy that people are going, oh, I kind of have to step above the labels of a prospector or a lead generator, an ISA, or a sphere of influence by referral only agent, and they're stepping up and going, okay, now let's look at this like a business, and what are the practices I can put in place to really go and find the business in 2024?
Yeah, I think a lot of agents, they hear internet prospecting and they hear internet leads. They're like, okay, I go pay Zillow and get internet leads. And it's like, that's the limit they put in their heads of what internet prospecting can do. And I remember having conversations with you in like 2019, pre-COVID, where we talked about how there was this upcoming generational shift where there was younger buyers entering the market and they were going to be more internet first. But it still kind of felt like, hey, most of the people buying homes were baby boomers. That was the majority of home buyers, and they worked differently that way. Like they weren't your traditional internet lead. And then COVID happens, and all of a sudden, even the baby boomers are having a shift in how they have to just live life. Everything went online. And so if you're one of those agents that hears prospecting and you hear internet prospecting, you're like, oh, this is just internet leads. It's not what is working for agents, right? What's working for agents is saying, look, there's more noise than ever. Like the amount of spam emails that I get, I'm sure everyone gets, is insane, right? Like we get these emails and it's like, hey, buddy, we talked about, like AI's made this worse. Like it's just more and more noise. And so if you're an agent and you're trying to prospect, build relationships, stand out from all the garbage, you've got to be doing content that builds trust. Yeah. You got to be doing something differently, because all of these leads that people are setting up right now as part of our end of year promo with seller leads, right? All of these leads have the intent to buy. Their problem is they don't know who to buy from.
Right.
Or who to work with.
Yeah, they have the intent to sell or the intent to buy.
Yeah.
You know, they are people who are going to transact, and the idea is you got to get in front of them. But, you know, you use the word content, and even that over the last decade has been this wild definition of whatever, right?
Yeah.
You know, we hear a lot, marketers ruin everything,
and we do.
Yeah, you know, it's probably true. And, you know, content, I think if you take the mystery out of all this, and if you take the complexity and to help people feel less overwhelmed with, oh man, what do I got to do in 2024? It's like, you just got to be yourself. You just have to be yourself on different mediums, right? A by referral only person, just be yourself. Just be yourself with the people who are going to give you referrals. And a prospector is like, well, just be you. Just do it on the phone with people who have expired or you know, for sell by owners and those were different mediums. And now we're saying, well, there's a new medium and we can kind of combine all of these practices together. And if this is the first time somebody's hearing this is crazy. But you know, you can take the expireds, you can take the FSBOs, you can upload those into social media platforms, and then you can just be yourself on video, like what we're doing here. And that video can get put in front of the people that you want to be in front of. So content doesn't, you don't have to get overwhelmed with content. If you're a professional real estate agent and if you're doing things professionally, that is your content, right? And you know, that there's still people that might need to step up and go, I should learn more about the market. Like I should learn the lingo more. I should be more of an expert in my field. But even that's not what I'm talking about. You just have to be yourself in front of a camera and get that video in front of the right audience. And then do the other activities to
support that.
Yeah, because even a buy referral only, you could go buy coffee every morning with a different person from your sphere of influence, but if you never ask them to do business, if you never ask them for a referral, then it's you know, those deals are going to be far and few between. And it's the same with all of this. Like you can get in front of expireds and FSBOs and everything, but if you're not at some point knocking on the door, picking up the phone, or sending a postcard, or getting in front of them, and then you know, taking that from this is who I am to, hey, do you want to do business together? Then it's still not going to produce results. But once you start doing that, that's what we're seeing. You know, these top producers where they're really crushing it is it's that simple.
Yeah, it's funny because, you know, everyone's looking for a magic bullet, but I think what you said of you've got to do all of the activities, the door knocking, the dialing, the social media content, it's all important. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes I'll talk to agents and they're looking for that magic bullet, and it's like, look, part of this game is you do just have to outwork the competition. Like you just got to work hard. Right. You got to do the door knocking and the calling and the social media, and you just kind of have to embrace that. And then the other part of it is you got to do those things better. Right?
But Connor, I got into real estate to be free.
That's not how it works.
To have freedom and not have to have a schedule and not have to do hard things.
Wouldn't that be nice? You got to pick your problems, right? And I think that if you're an agent that's been a prospector before and you've been hesitant of like, hey, I feel comfortable dialing, but you know, social media, video, that ain't for me. Think about it this way. You're calling these expireds and you probably talked to a couple people in your time prospecting that are upset. Yeah. Right? Yeah. They don't want another call.
Right.
So imagine this. You make a video and you say, hey, my name's Connor. I just helped someone who couldn't sell their home. This is how I did it. And you make a video and you talk about what you did with an expired listing that you'd worked with before. And then you post that video and you target it to all the expireds on social media. I'll bet you that video and watching them has a whole lot more trust that you build instantly versus that cold call. Now, that being said, if they see that video and then you call, they're going to be like, dude, I just saw your video, right? You're already going to take down the barrier that they already had. How do you reduce the friction in your phone calls? And how do you build that trust and credibility as early as possible when they're feeling that pain of not being able to sell?
Kent Brown, who's common guest agent here locally that does a lot with us here at REDX, he says it's only a cold prospect if one party doesn't know the other. But as soon as one party knows the other, it's now a warm prospect. Mm-hmm. So even if you don't know them, but they know you from the videos, which is what he's doing. He's targeting geographic areas, blowing up their newsfeed with a few videos. So when he's calling, they're saying, "Oh yeah, I've seen your videos." Mm-hmm. Well, there's already a level of trust built in that he doesn't have to try to overcome in an initial phone call, because they've already seen him. They know what he looks like, they know what he sounds like, they know what he does for a living, right? There's trust there. You're not some,
rando,
that's calling. So yeah, I think, what's crazy a little bit as a marketer, and both of our backgrounds is in marketing. Mm-hmm. So is you go, nothing is new. It's just making it to real estate, and maybe at a higher level, which is, in any business, it doesn't matter what you do. It's whatever your product and service is, who are the people most likely to do business with you? Mm-hmm. And then how do you get their attention? Mm-hmm. Right? So that they think of you when they're ready to make a buying or selling decision. Mm-hmm. Right?
It's crazy because I've worked in many businesses, started several businesses, and with my background in marketing, so much of the time it's like, well, who's our audience? Who are we marketing to? And I remember one of the things that was most impressed me about REDX really early on was how much work goes into having high quality data. Yeah. I've bought data from just like data vendor websites before.
Buy a list.
Yeah, buy a list, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Like, it's so inaccurate, right? Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that's so important about REDX is it's not about getting great data, but it's getting that great data with intent, right? These aren't just like, hey, here's everyone that lives in the area, unless you're doing geo leads and doing kind of a geo prospecting strategy, which that makes sense. But like, these are expireds, these are FSBOs, these are FURBOs, these are people that have had an event or a signal that's so clear that they need to do a transaction. And I think that's the thing that agents sometimes forget is like, if you're prospecting REDX leads, you're calling people who are actually close to a transaction. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, I really... I love data science, but I do. I remember when some of these first predictive models were coming out. They're like, save time by only marketing to the people who are more likely to list.
Yeah,
I'm like an expired.
Yeah,
I can tell you that 100% of them are thinking about listing, right? I can tell you 100% of pre-foreclosures are thinking about listing. Mm-hmm. I can tell you that a very high percentage of someone in default is thinking about listing and selling, right? So, so these lists and everybody's trying to sell the sexy factor when the reality is a list of FSBOs, 88% of them are going to end up working with an agent. Expireds, that they're going to relist within 35 days, and half of them with a new agent, right? So this is high intent, low cost leads.
Yeah, there's a reason why REDX agents list more than normal agents.
Right. I do want to talk about the data though, because that's a constant battle for us, right? I mean, there's people listening right now like, hey, I tried them and I got wrong numbers, or, there's a constant battle between giving more data or more possible data or just more accurate data. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is for years and years, it was all about narrowing down to calling the least amount of people with the highest connection rate, because it was all about phone. Mm-hmm. Well, now if we only did that, then the whole social media side wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. Not nearly as well, because the social media side is, well, I don't just want to find your phone number. I want that. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to list that at the top because I may want to call you. But I want the 5 phone numbers that are found associated with you, because I don't know what phone number Facebook has to associate you when I upload that list, right? Mm-hmm. Same with an email.
Yep.
So
we increase match rate.
Yeah, you want to increase match rate, which lessens, which increases the chance that you might call a wrong number, but increases the chance that you're going to get their attention on social media. So it's a constant battle, and we're constantly helping people with that and honing that algorithm for sure. Mm-hmm. But I think that right now we're at the best of both worlds. It's the right amount of data upload into Meta, and they're gonna check and find their users. And then when you're calling them, you're more likely to call the people that you're marketing to on social media.
Yeah, I think one thing that maybe some agents are thinking in their head is, oh, I've done social media ads before. I've tried it before, it didn't work. And the thing you got to understand is a lot of times if you're working with like a consultant or an agency or some other company is they'll just run ads to Facebook's data sets. And Facebook strictly limits what you can target with real estate. So think about this, right? You go and say, I want to target people that have an interest in real estate. Well, what's Facebook going to do? It's going to go and analyze all the people that are looking at Zillow listings. And my wife is constantly sending me houses off of Zillow. Do you know how, like, when we plan on moving? Not anytime soon, right?
Wait. Does it come with, because this is mine, and my wife's going to watch this and I'm going to hear about it, is, hey, do you like this home? Yeah, it's a $12 million house. It looks amazing. Of course I love it. Yeah. No, we're not going to go buy it.
Exactly. And that's the problem is like agents, we are the ones that are seeing those ads, right? Because it's targeting people that do not have a high intent, but they're showing intent signals that they're interested in real estate. So if you're using Facebook's data set, you're often targeting a cloudy group of people and you're spending more money than you should on leads that are less interested. That's where people complain about the internet leads. They fill out a lead form. Yeah, but they're interested in real estate, right? So you've got to get hyper targeted. And that's one of the really unique things about Ad Builder that's now in Vortex is it's going to actually send that data to Facebook, all of these FSBOs, expireds, FURBOs, whatever filter you want to set up, and it's going to keep that updated live. Every time there's a new expired, FSBO, FURBO, pre-foreclosure, it's going to go and sync with your audience. So now you're not targeting all this noisy data of Facebook's, you're using REDX data and actually targeting the people that have a high intent to sell.
Right. With the ad builder, the templates and everything else that's in there, right? So, and accompanied with that. So, I think just for the viewers, in case you don't know, we are running a 20-year anniversary bundle. And this is the craziest thing we've ever done. We took all 5 lead types with their premium upgrades, which normally would be about $660 a month for all of that, plus the power dialer, which is another $100, plus a smart number, which is really cool because this is where we register and monitor the number to make sure it never shows up as spam because we want to make sure your calls are going through. And then the ad builder, right? This tool that connects all of the data to Facebook and Instagram and allows you the ability to create ads and target these people. All of that together we put into a bundle package. Normally it would cost, over $700, and we're offering it for $299. And then we realized, okay, there's a lot there. And we want this to be a pretty significant listing strategy for people. So what we did is we put together a 56 video training course that goes through scripts and objections and dialogues and ads and ad campaigns and how you would set up ads and everything that you need to know. Plus we threw in a boot camp that's normally $300 just to attend our boot camps. We do a 3-day boot camp, and then what we did is we went out and we found 8 different influencer coaches, trainers, people who we felt had very tactical training content. And we are doing a 30-day listing challenge over the month of January. So twice a week, we're doing different trainings with different coaches that are doing this all, for free. And the whole topic of every single live training is how do I get a listing in the next 30 days? So we put all that together. It's $299, and people can call in. There's links, I'm sure, post the links and everything. But before we wrap up, just this brief conversation, let's say somebody has that. They have all the leads, they have the data, they have ad builders, so they're creating ads. And you know where I'm going. He knows where I'm going. Is people then have this challenge of, I'm terrified to make a video.
Yep.
And this is why REDX and Story have, combined forces here. Why don't you speak to that?
Yeah,
for a
look,
second?
if you're serious about creating content on social media and you really want to build relationships online, that's what we're talking about, is building relationships. This isn't some sort of new thing. This is the same principle that's been around since cave drawings, which is you've got to show up where people are paying attention and let them get to know you so they'll do business with you.
Yep.
So the way you do that in 2024 is you're going to take video content, and we've done this with REDX Brand Builder, that you record, and we actually use AI to tell you exactly what to say. So what you can do is you go in, you tell us who are the leads you're working, tell us about your personality, you tell us what you want to be.
And by us, you mean the app. So you're going to be typing this into the app.
Into the app.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go in, and we're going to give you suggestions of videos to make, right? And then you're going to record those videos, and you can go and post those to your social media channels. You can go use those in Ad Builder. And if you don't got the time for that, if you're like, hey, I want to prospect, I don't want to go and be an Instagrammer, well, we've got people that will actually go and post all the videos for you. But you got to get comfortable making video. We'll make it really comfortable and really easy for you to do that. But yeah, we've got REDX Brand Builder that we're doing with Story and REDX.
Yeah, which is cool. We'll post a link if you want a demo for that. Then for sure sign up for the demo for that, and we'll have somebody walk you through. The demos are worth doing. Just because you get a lot of social media training just in doing the demos.
We'll actually edit a video for you for free too. So if you're like, I want to see how the video turns out first, let's give you a consultation, give us some raw content, and we'll turn it into something awesome.
And the cool thing is once you have that video, even the free one, if you have the data and Ad Builder in the 20th year anniversary bundle, you can upload that video, and that can be your first ad campaign to target the data that you have inside of the Vortex lead system. So thanks everybody. It's a busy week. I hope you had an amazing Christmas. New Year's is coming up. New Year's resolutions are coming up. And here's the thing. A lot of people, we could have had a whole podcast just on New Year's resolutions and whether those are good or bad. Here's the thing is it's a new start. So let's whether it's a resolution or whatever you want to call it, let's change the strategy in 2024. Let's forget about what's going on in the marketplace. Let's forget about what the news headlines are saying. Their whole job is to get your attention. And if they've got it, they're winning. So ignore that. Make your own 2024 economy by focusing on the people who want to list. Get their attention by making video and getting in front of them on social media, getting in front of them with postcards and mailers, getting in front of them with the phone, and your 2024 will be a totally different experience than this last year. So thanks everybody.